training organized by Quality Techies. So last week we were able to cover Cypress fundamentals, JavaScript basics. Then we were able to write our first Cypress tests. We accessed Cypress test runner. Then we were able to also inspect our elements with Cypress selector playground. So today, we'll still take a look at the concluding part of the Java basics, which is a control structure. So how well we can use if statements, if else, switch statements. So you can't just do without JavaScript. If you want to be a solid automation engineer, you really need JavaScript or programming knowledge. So this will make you stand out as an automation expert. So when people reviews your code, it actually sets you apart from somebody that only knows Cypress alone. So I want you to just take this as serious as possible. So take the notion and the mindset of this is programming. I'm not too versatile in programming. All right, apologies for the interference. So then we also go over web element interaction, how to use clicks, inputs, buttons, assertion, and the like. So I would like to invite Mr. Wale to take it from here. So Mr. Wale, are you on the call? Are you ready for us? Hello? Okay, all right. So you can have the floor. Please confirm that you can see my screen. I've not heard anybody's voice since I started speaking. So can someone just unmute and confirm
Yeah,
if they
I
can
can
see?
see your screen. I see your
All right.
screen.
Okay, thank you. So I'll stop sharing now while Mr. Wale takes over. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Um, all right, so we started off last week and we covered some ground last week. We're also moving fast today so that we can cover a lot of grounds. Um, so if you have this kind of opportunity to have someone speak about maybe a topic that you are interested in, know that they will not be able to cover everything for you. The larger percentage of the work would be on you to internalize the knowledge. So I hope that majority of us here have gone through the video of last week and are able to be on the same page, meaning that they already understood what we did last week and even maybe make some further research because that's the only way that you learn. The only way that you learn is by practicing, not just by listening or joining a class. Sorry guys, if my voice is a bit coarse. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather this morning. All right, so um, I will just continue from where we stopped last week. Last week we were able to write our first um, test, but we're doing two things concurrently. Meaning, the first one was understanding JavaScript, and the other one was at the same time trying to write some test script in Cypress. So I don't know, I didn't get, please. I'm not able to share. I don't have the permission to share my screen. Sorry.
Sorry, I missed that.
I don't have the permission to share my screen.
Can you confirm now?
Okay, now I can. Thank you. All right. Please confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Thank you. So the first thing I will be doing today is moving on from where we stopped last week, which is the JavaScript basics. We were able to cover some things last week, including data structures and data, what's it called? Yeah, data types, sorry. And we're able to cover functions last week. All right. This week, we'll be moving on to control statements. So see it as, I always like to explain this by just talking. So the majority of programming language, in fact, all programming languages are based of
The next one is
natural
they'll be in their office.
language
They will
flow.
not from the next one, they will not walk into your company. They will be in their office and go through your portal. But when they go through your portal, they want to.
Okay, thank you for that. So it follows normal language, right? So I'm sure most of us have had a lot of conversation with friends that goes along this way. So maybe you are working in an office that requires you to come to the office, but not all the time. So maybe you have 3 days to come to the office, and you can any like that comes to I moved I moved mine also to Thursday. So you can see from that statement that there's a condition there that if you are coming to the office, then I will come tomorrow. But if you are coming to the office next week Thursday, then also I will come on next. I'm coming next week Thursday. So you can see the flow there. There's a flow. The flow is that if you are coming to the office, I don't know if I should bring up a decision stuff. Okay. Let me just use my mouth to explain because I didn't prepare to draw to put up diagrams. All right. So the thing is that you as a person at the starting condition, at the starting point, and you hit a decision box in front of you. And the decision box is that, okay, is my friend coming to the office tomorrow? At that point, you have two possible outcomes. Your friend is coming, your friend is not coming. Based on the response that you get from your friend, the decision will be made. So if your friend is coming to the office tomorrow, that's a yes. Then you take a path. The path is that you also are coming. If your friend is not coming, you take another path. That means you are not coming. That is basically what control statement does. Is statements like if else. If this, then this. Else this. There's another one called switch. I'm going to create a new file here. Let's call this control. And don't forget that we have to add .js to the end to make it a JS file. So for the control statement, we have if statement. And then there is switch statement. All right. All of these are also part of it, which is ternary operators, logical operators, and all this. So I'm going to just like block this out for the moment. Let's focus on the if statement and the switch statement. The if statement is, okay, if something is something, then you do down something. If not, you do another thing. It is important because let me break it down to test automation. Say, for instance, you hit a website and you are automating that website, and maybe it's an e-commerce website, right? Well, you're automating an e-commerce website, and part of what you're automating is your stock, the items that you have on that site. Let's say, for instance, there's a Nike shoe that you are checking for. What you're checking for is this out of stock or is it in stock, right? So from that point, if you have the flag of out of stock there, there's no need for you to try to automate it anymore. Like you don't have to add it to cart and check out because of course it's out of stock, so you're going to get an error. So in that case, you want to put a decision there. So if this shoe is out of stock, then stop here or do some other thing. But if out of stock tag is not present, then you can go ahead, add to cart and check out, see if you can if a customer can actually buy the shoe. So you see that you have reduced your own headache because if you don't put that there, you have a flaky test. When the shoe is in stock, the automation flows well. When the shoe is out of stock, the automation breaks. But instead of you having inconsistent results, by using if-else statement, you've already eliminated that occurrence. So let me show you um, the structure of what the if-else statement looks like. So you will have the keyword if in small letter like this. And then you will have a parenthesis. And inside that parenthesis, you will have the condition that you're looking out for. So I'm just going to, it's going to read that for, I'm just going to write condition here because we don't have a condition yet. And then you have curly braces. Like I explained last week, most times code blocks within JavaScript always start and end in a curly braces. So you have a curly braces like this, and then inside here, you will have something that you want to execute. And I have my friend here, Copilot, helping me teach you guys. So inside here, you have code to be executed if condition is true. So it will always circle through this condition, make sure that it is true. If it is true, then it executes everything inside this within these curly braces. If not, it goes out of that goes out of this code loop and move on to the next thing. That is just it. Now there is another one that you can another thing that you can add to this place. So say for instance now, for the case of our shoe, if shoe is in stock, so I can replace this condition with is shoe in stock. So if shoe is in stock, this is what will run. Something will run inside here. Let's say, for instance, now the shoe is not in stock. Then you can have an else statement. So you can couple it together like this is what you want to run when shoe is not in stock. Okay.
Rigba take the spaghetti.
So what was that? Okay. All right. So this is the complete if else. All right. So you execute something based on the fact that the first condition is true. If it is not true, the other way around, then this code here will execute. The one inside the else will execute. But what if we are checking for multiple things? Say, let's take that example again. If your friend A is coming to work tomorrow, then I'm going to work. But if he's not coming to work, then you are sending a dispatch rider to your workplace. So you see that it doesn't have to be both of them. It doesn't have to be true or false. I mean, it doesn't have to be a single condition being satisfied. You can have multiple conditions being satisfied, and you want to run different things based on the condition that is being satisfied. So a shoe in stock, you execute something. If you want to elongate it, meaning that maybe there's another thing that you want to look out for. So if you want to do that, you can have another statement here called else if. Sorry, else if. Then this one will then have another condition inside. So this one, let's say shoe in stock but low. So if that is the case, let me remove this so that not to confuse you. Remember, you had curly braces, and inside the curly braces, you execute something. So in this case, shoe is in stock, you run something, but I know there's some e-commerce sites where if the quantity of the item is low, maybe like 5, you have a tag there saying that okay, it's almost out of stock. So maybe if that is the case, you want to run something else. But if it is out of stock entirely, then you can have your else here. This will now run a condition that either of these two guys has not caught, meaning that the shoe is not this one and it's not this one, but there's something else, then this one can catch all the general case. This can be used for this can be a way of handling errors also. Okay, so this is what if else statements the structure looks like. Okay, before we go into examples, I would like to cram something on top of it again, or maybe okay, let's do an example. Let's do an example, right? One sec. Let me look for a good example. Okay. All right. Let me look for it. Okay, good. So I'll do an example. Let's say we want to check. Maybe you are going to a club, say for instance, and as you're going to the club has an age bracket. If you are 18 years old, 18 to 45, you can attend. 45 and above, you attend the older section of the club. 18 downwards, sorry, 17 downwards. I mean, less than 18 downwards, you cannot attend. So you have 3 conditions here, that is attached to your age. If you are not up to 18 years old, you cannot attend. If you are 18 years to 45 years old, you can attend maybe the youth section of the party. And from if you are more than 45 years old to maybe like 80 years old, let's say for instance, you can attend the adult section of the party. So you have 3 conditions that's hinging on a single value, age. So let's declare that age. Let's say let age equals to whatever you want it to be. Let's do 18 for now. Okay. And let's now do the if statement. We're saying that what we're saying now is that if you are less than 18, you cannot attend the party. So we can say if, okay, and then we can say age is less than 8. Then remember the curly braces. Then let's log something on the console. Let's say console.log. All right. And you can say you can attend the youth party. Less than you cannot attend the party. Yeah, that's the thing. Attend the party. All right. And then we want to say that if you are between the age of 18 and 45, then you can attend the youth party. We talked about some logical operators the last time. Or did we? Oh, sorry. I thought we did. I couldn't find it here. Oh, wow. I need to touch on that before I do this example. So there are logical operators. The logical operators, they include and. Okay. They include and, then or. Okay. Those are logical operators. It means that you can compare two things together and then you get a logical answer out of it. Logical answer meaning true or false. If you have noticed, when we're talking about conditions here, they will all resolve to either true or false. Okay, if you look at this, is age less than 18. This will come out to be either true or false, which is Boolean. So that's why we call it logical. Logical means, and or gate. If you used to be a student of electrical electronics engineering, you will know, or computer engineering, you will know what logical operator means. Is you are comparing two things, and at the end of the day, you are getting a Boolean out of it. Is it true or false? Correct. So please feel free to draw me back if any of this is confusing or you're not getting it right. Okay. All right. So those are logical operators. So you can compare two things. Let me quickly look for example. I don't want to dwell much on this logical part. Okay. So let me do it this way so that I can use two stones to kill one bird. I will use the example inside the if-else statement that we're currently working on. So we'll say that if age is less than 18, you cannot attend the party. But what if age is between, just follow my thoughts here, is between 18 and 45? If you want to represent that, you can say that your age is greater than or equals to 18 and less than or equals to 45. Are you following me? Hello? Can I get a reaction at least?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so you can see here that the age is between the two of them. So your age is greater than or equals to 18 and less than or equals to 45. To represent that here, we can write it like this, else if age is greater than or equals to, oh boy, I'm going to turn this off. It's reading my mind. Age is greater than or equals to 18. And this is where we use the logical operator, the AND. So it's the AND operator. You write it twice. And age is less than or equals to 45. So can do console.log. And you can attend the youth party. So let me now tell you how this AND works. AND works on the two of them. So these two really have to resolve to true before the whole statement can be true. So you have two things here, age less than or equals to 18 and age less than or equals to 45. So whatever the value of age is, it has to satisfy the two conditions, this one and this one, for this entire thing to be true. It's not the same as or operator, and we'll get to that. So if your age is, let's say, 19, if you look at this, your age is greater than 18, correct? That's good, 19. And here also, we say age is less than 45. 19 is also less than 45. So these two will be true if your age is 19 or even 18. If any of it is not true, then it will return a false. Let's say, for instance, age is 46. If you look at the first statement, age is greater than 18. 46 is greater than 18. So this is true. But when it gets to the second part, it should be less than or equal to 45, but it's 46. So this will return false, and it will make the whole statement false. So for and, I'm going to comment this out, and the individual statement, the individual statement has to be true for the collective statement to return true. Else it will be false. So if you have true, you have true plus true, it will give you true. Okay. If you have true plus false, it will give you false. Okay. Someone has a question. Anita, please go on.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's clearly. I'm just curious for the instance, what instance the ampersand is used like just once without using it twice. And if you use it once, it's a throw an error.
It would certainly throw an error.
But is there an instance where it's used once?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's usually used to compare things bitwise. I don't want to get into that right now. So say for instance, you have a number 5. Let's say, I'm just going to quickly brush over it. I will not dwell on it. If you say let num equals to 5, and then you have let b equals to 6, right? If you do something like this, let's say let's results equals to A and B, right? This result, sorry, A and B. This, oh, sorry, I said A and, why did I say A and B? Num and this num B, I guess, yeah. This will compare the bitwise, and what it will return is the addition of this guy and this guy, but in a bit. Let me see how I can do this. So you know that if you are counting bitwise, you have 0, 1, 2, 4, 8, like that. So if you want to represent 5, in this case, you are going to have if you want to represent 5, you're going to have 1. Sorry, go to the next line. 1, 0, right? 1, 0. That's 5 because the bit is turned down here and here to make up 5. That is 5. This is like course CS course, like computer science course. And if you want to do 6 will be 0, 1, 1, 0. So what comes out of here will be a bitwise comparison between these two guys, and you will have a bit being displayed here. I can quickly just display that for you and do console.log result. Okay. Oh. Okay, so that's what we'll give out to you. He has executed this one. I don't want to execute it yet, but just know that it's going to compare it bitwise. It's going to break it down by bit and then compare it. I don't want to do this. It's going to derail us. All right, so that's it. What I was saying, if you use an AND operator, if the first one is true and second one is true, the cumulative result will be true. If any of the individual one is false, it's going to resolve into a false. All right, so the last one is that I want to say that if your age is greater than 45, maybe from 46 upward, then you attend the adult party. But if you look at this, right, there's no point using else if again. I mean, you can, of course, you can do else if age greater or equals to 46, then you can have this console.log. You can attend the downloads party like that. But if you look at this, properly, you will see that we have covered everything from 0 to 18. And then we have covered everything above 18 to 45. And you want to say, okay, the rest. If you want to say the rest, you don't have to put a condition here, just use else. Okay, it will cover for all other cases, which will be any age that is above 45. All right, so if I run this now, if I run this now, you see that what comes out is that you can attend the youth party. That's because age equals to 18. If I turn this to 20, it will give me a different result. And that's what I was speaking to before earlier, that when I cited the example of you going to the office, when the condition changes, the output also changes. So I'm going to run the same thing, and you will see that the output is different. Now, because the age is 20, it says you can attend the youth party. And the same thing as 18, sorry. So I'm going to reduce this to 17. I thought I was doing less than 18 before. And then I'll run this and say you cannot attend the party because you are 17. But if you are 18, you can attend. If you are 19, you can attend. If you are between the age of 18 and 19 and say 45, let's do, if you are above 45, sorry, so I'm going to do 46. And then I'll run this again, and you'll see that you will say adult party. You see that? So this is ternary, this is conditional statement. All right. And you can use this. Now, let me quickly do switch. Let me quickly do switch. Switch is like an if statement also. The only thing is that it looks cleaner, right? And people using JavaScript will tell you that they don't like using switch. Okay, but people using Java, they will tell you that they like using switch. So it's a matter of this thing. So you are going to create code blocks, and then you will use switch to execute it. So it will pick the block. It will, I mean, it will pick. Sorry, it will pick the block based on the switch property that you listed above. So the structure looks like this. The structure looks like this. You will have the keyword, just like we have in the case of if else. You have if, else if, and then else. You will have a statement called switch like this, and then you will have the expression that you want to switch. Okay. Then also a curly braces, which signifies the code block. Now you will now list cases that you want. So you go like case X, then colon, then the next line, you execute the block that you want to use. Okay. When you are done, this is the difference between if and if else statements. When you are done, you have to break out of it. You have to write break like this. Okay. Because if you don't, I'll show you why. So the next one, you have case again. Let's say case Y. I'll fleshing this out with an example soon. I just want to write the structure for you. And then you can have another code block that can run based on the case that you have here. All right. Of course, don't forget to break. All right. Then if, let's say, in your case, in this case, maybe nothing in the expression matches any of the case, then you can write a default F-A-U-L-T. Default is like the else part of this if else. That if anything does not work, then just pack everything inside the else. So you have default, and then you can run your code for default. This is generally how it looks like. This is generally how it looks like. You'll see that it looks kind of cleaner than this one. I just open brackets, open close brackets all the time. Well, I like using switch okay, when I'm writing Java really. All right, so but this case, this is how it looks like. This is what it looks like. All right. So I'm going to do an example. Just follow me. And I will not write down that switch statement. I will change this one so that you will see how to fleshing it out. So let's say we want to get the current day, like today is Saturday, and I want to get Saturday, and whatever the case may be, we want to say that it is Saturday. I think we talked about array the other time. Maybe I'll use an array to do it. Okay, so let me use an array. So I'm going to list an array of these, and then I will say that if it is, let me just continue writing it so that maybe you understand better. So we want to say let days equals an array. This is what we did last time, if you remember, when we did array, this line 21. We listed cars and we put things inside of it. I'm going to do exact same thing, only that I'm going to list it at days. I can actually make this a constant instead. I'm not going to change the content. So I want to start from 0. I want to use 0 to represent Sunday. And then from onward, you can say 0 Sunday, 1 Monday, 2 Tuesday, and so on. So I'm just going to list the numbers here. All right, so I will have 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, so we listed it here. Correct? So inside this expression here, one thing that you cannot do is that you cannot give it a something that it would execute before it can get the answer. You have to put the right answer there. So if I say, for instance, days, okay, and I want to select the first item inside that array, which will be 0, right? Sorry. And I'll say that if case is 0, if 0 that comes, execute something. If it is 1 that comes in, do something. And I can replicate this 5 more times. So I'm going to copy this, and then I will just paste it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Format. So if it is 2, execute something. If it is 3, execute something. If it is 4, do something else. If it is 5, do something else. And if it is 6, do something. So what I'm going to do inside this code execution is I'm just going to console.log something out. All right. 1 sec. I want to do this at the same time. Doesn't work like that here. All right, no problem. Console.log. Sunday. So I'm saying that if the case is 0, if 0 is coming in, print out Sunday. If it is 1, print out Monday. If it is 2, print out Tuesday. If it is 3, print out Wednesday. If it is 4, Thursday. 5, Friday. And 6, Saturday. All right. So depending on whatever that this guy is, you should print out this. In actual sense, I don't need this array. I just want to leave it there because of one thing I want to emphasize. So since is 0, that's since we have 0 there already, you should print out something for us, right? But let's say that someone pass a number that is not between 0 and 6. What would then happen? We only cater for cases of when it is 0 to 6. So that's the reason for the default. If someone should pass in something that is outside of our scope, then we can treat it inside here. So we can just do a console.log here. Normally you would output an error. We can do console.log and say and you can actually put the number there. Okay. But okay, number is not between 0 and 6. I'll still enhance this thing, but I just want it to be basic at first so that you guys can see it very well. I don't want to complicate things for you. So for now, let me pass in the direct number here. So I have 0 here. One second. No problem. Let me put it there. It shouldn't confuse you too much. All right, so let me run this. And it comes out as Sunday. You know why it comes out as Sunday? Can somebody answer this?
Because it's in the index. The first index is 0.
Okay. So the first index is 0. And then that means it will execute this and then break. Now, let me remove this break. It will not give me an error. It will not give me an error. I want you to see the difference between if-else statement and switch and the common pitfalls that you can get when you are using switch. So I'm going to run the same thing again. And you can see that it output two things for me. I have Sunday, I have Monday. Why is that? So I'll explain briefly. Because the first condition has been satisfied is 0. It run this code block and log Sunday for us. But there was nothing to stop the code from running to say that, okay, you've reached your destination. So he executed this one also, this next one also. And then you see Monday coming out. And then because there's break here, it stopped here. If I remove all the breaks that I have here, it will display everything to the end. It's called fall through. That is one of the dangers of using this if you don't know how to use it very well. You have to put break there so that you can scan through this and see which one is the one that fits the case. Execute it and break. Let me remove the break as it was before, and then I'll change this to maybe 5. Okay, and let's watch what will then happen. You can see that it only output out Friday for me. Because in this case, Friday is 5. 5, it will scan through, get to where 5 is, execute this, and output Friday for me. So even though I've removed the break on the case 0, 0 did not match 5. So it skipped this code block entirely to get to this 5 and then execute. But if I remove this break on 5 also, it's going to then print out Friday and Saturday for me. See that? So it will always start from the one that matches the case that it's looking for. Okay. I'm going to pull back the break and pull back this break also. So I've highlighted some differences between that. And the last one I want to do is that I want to put a number here that does not exist. So first of all, I'll get an error if I put something here that is maybe 7. The first error I will get is on this line 34. It will be trying to get something that has an index of 7, whereas it does not exist there. We only have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the maximum index that we have. So that's the first error that we get, and it will terminate there. So it will not even get to this, to display this console.log, this one right here. But I want to show you before I optimize the code to show more error. So it gets to this part. I guess I haven't been working lately with JavaScript, but if it was TypeScript or Java, it would complain about this because I'm trying to access something that is indexed, does not exist on this part. So instead of it returning error, it's actually returning maybe undefined or something. And that's the reason why this is happening. Just for me to confirm, I'm going to console.log it first. Console.log there's 7. I want to see what it actually output out. So this is what I do. Undefined. And because this is coming in as undefined, it's telling me that it does not exist here. One other thing I can do is that instead of passing the 7 here, they like this right here, I can say let's sorry, equals to this, right? So instead of now passing this here, I can pass in day here. The reason why I'm doing this is that day has a value which is gotten from here, and it's easier for me to output something out. So I can say the number is not between. Now the number that I'm talking about now, I can split it and say the number, and I say plus day like this, if you understand. So now instead of when we didn't have this error coming out, that it just went straight up and output the default out for me, I will see the value that is searching for in the error. So I'm going to clear this and run this again. And you can see that the number undefined is not between 0 and 6. That is the value of this day. If I did change this, if I change this to maybe 3, that is within the array, that's 0, 1, 2, 3, right? Which will be Wednesday. If I run this again, it will bring out Wednesday. Is this clear? Or is this something that we have to think about first? Okay. All right, that's a switch. That was fine. That is a switch statement for you. Where is that? Wow. Should I go through? Are you guys ready for another banger? Another one, sorry. This is switch. This is if else statement. There is also one we call ternary operators. This one, ternary operators are like a one-liner for if else statements. So we've declared, I'll do this very quickly. We've declared age here. Okay. So check this out. If I want to say, if there's just two things I want to compare, allow me to comment this one out. If there's two things I just want to compare, like if you are 18 and above, then you can attend the party. If not, you cannot attend the party. Do you know that I can do it in one line? I can declare a variable, say let attend, and I will not put any value to it. You can do it however way you want. By the time I'm done, you'll be able to flex it the way you want. Okay. So I can say I can now assign I assign something to it. So I can say attend equals, and I can see age. I say if it is greater than 18, greater or equals to 18. Okay. Now look at this. This is a condition. All right, I'm going to put this in a bracket just to distinct it. This is a condition. For you to say that it's a condition, you append a question mark. That is, if this is true, right? What I want to assign to attend is you can attend the party. That way is else. That's the colon that we use now. And I'll say you cannot attend the party. That's a one-liner. And I can then console.log it out. Also, the log attend. All right. So if I run this, it will tell me that you probably can attend the the party because your age, as we declared on line 15, is 46 and is greater than 18. So if I run this, you can see that you can attend the adult party. Bao. Let's just say this. Do we have any other statement there? Almost as if it has not saved. Yeah, you can attend the party. That's what it's bringing out now. You can attend the party. If I put this as 17 and then I execute this again, something is wrong with my code editor, sorry. Oh. Who can tell me the problem here? There's a problem here.
You are
Very
using
good.
is greater equal to 17. Definitely 46 is greater.
Yes. Yes.
So
what I should be adjusting is this one, right?
yep.
Thank you. So you cannot attend the party. So because your age is 17 and you are saying anything that is, yeah. So you get this. This is ternary thing, and you can use it for. It's very powerful, really. You can use it for a lot of things, but this is the most simplistic form that you can take. Whatever you're evaluating inside here has to resolve into a Boolean, true or false. So you're saying that if it is true, execute this. If it is false, execute this. So yeah. I think we are good with this. Oh wow, we have a lot. Madam has packed a lot for us here. I'm going to create another file here. I'll call it loops. So in JavaScript also we have loops. Remember that we have, I'm going to go and copy something from our initial this class. Remember that we have this where we declared, see me, I did not have .js. Where we declared them cars and say cars equals this, all right? And you remember that when we want to, somebody give me more names of cars. Let's add more. Mazda, thank you.
Benz.
Mercedes. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 things here. Say for instance, now maybe this array that we are declaring here on your web interface, you have a drop down, right? And you are supposed to print out everything within the drop down. So you pack them into an array. So it's dynamic. You know, something that you know beforehand. So it happens on the screen. You saw it on the screen. You pack it in an array. You are supposed to like go through each of the array and assert each one of the item there. Say for instance, now you want to assert that we have Toyota inside the array, because the drop down, the first one can be Toyota when you look it today. When you look it tomorrow, the first one can be Acura. So you don't know as per the positions, you don't know which one is coming first or not, but you just want to first pack them in an array and just assert that all the things that you have, they are actually inside the array. Now, if you want to do that, it simply means that you will have to go inside the array and do things and assert many times. So in this case, you assert 6 times, right? If you are going to do that, normally, you will have to be writing one line for each of the asserts. Assert that Toyota is inside the array. Assert that Volvo is inside the array. Assert that Honda is inside the array. So you repeat yourself 6 times, doing the same thing, but searching for different things. That is where loops come in. Instead of writing 6 lines, you can write it 1 line and it will assert everything that you want to assert. But in this case, let's come back home and say, okay, you want to print out everything that you have inside this array. So that means you are going to do console.log cars position 0. You would then write this 6 times, right? 4, 5, 6. You then write it 6 times, picking position 0. Okay. Thank you, Copilot. By the way, you guys can use Copilot too, but I don't want to use that initial stage. I would like you to understand everything before you start using before you start using AI to help you out. So this is, you are choosing 0 to 5, which is the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so you see, you are writing all of this. If I print this out, right? If I print this out, it's going to print out all the cars for me. Let me expand this so you see. It's going to print out all the cars for me, which is what we want to do. But it's not an efficient way of doing things. You can do it all in one sweep. And that's what I'm going to try to do here using a loop. So first of all, let's talk about for loop. Okay. I'll first write the structure for you, and then we'll now populate it. The structure is this. You use the keyword for, lowercase. And then inside here, you have 3 things there. You have expression 1, expression 2, and expression 3. All right. So, and then after that, you open a curly braces, and then you write what you want to write. You write it there. In our case, we want to also log something out. Now, what is expression 1, 2, and 3? I'll explain it for you right now. Expression 1 is executed only one time. This one is executed only one time when this code block is running. Now, expression 2 is a condition that must be met for that loop to still remain active. Basically, what loop is doing is that you are going to tell it to go through this array however many times that it should to do something for you. So it's going to go through it, cycle around it. So expression 2 has to be true for that cycle to remain active, right? Then expression 3 is executed all the time, like after every loop is executed at the end of every loop. Now let me fill up these things and then you will see. So like I said, expression 1 is executed before the execution of the code block. All right. In this case, it will be the starting point of our execution. We have an array that has index of 0 to 5. We want to start checking the array from index 0, and we want to stop at index 5. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is to set the index for the first one. And to do that, you can declare something. Don't give me a spot, don't give me a 0. For the first one, you can set the initial condition, which you can say let. By the way, people like using I here. Let I equal 0, but you don't have to use I. You can use any number, any alphabet that you want. You can use anything that you want to represent it. So that's your first, your initial starting point. Now, your second expression that I said that it has to be a condition that would allow the execution of the loop to continue. If that expression returns false, then it stops, the loop stops. It's very important to know what you are putting here. If you don't take it important, you might be running an infinite loop. So the loop continues to run till infinity. It doesn't have anything to stop it. So you have to be mindful of what you put on this expression too, which will always resolve to true for when you want the loop to run. When it becomes false, then it stops running. Now, what we want to run here is that we want to run it that whenever I is less than, say, less than 6, for instance, because you want it to be running as long as the value of this index, this I, is less than 6. Whenever the I is greater than is equals to 6, then it will go. Know that the length that we have on this loop is 5, right? So when it is 6, it will stop. All right, the next expression is your incremental, how you want to be incrementing I. Because we already said that I needs to be incrementing. So we can say I'm going to do something here that maybe you have not seen before, plus plus. Now, semicolon is what you use to separate all of them. Semicolon, semicolon. I plus plus. What I plus plus means is that whatever the value of I right now, add 1 to it. So before we start, the value of I is 0. After the execution, it will add 1 to 0, it will be 1. For the next execution, so when we first start, I is 0. Like I said, this one will be executed only once when you are starting. It sets the value of I to be 0. And then it checks, is 0 less than 6? The answer is yes. Then it runs whatever you have inside here. After the run has finished, it will then do I plus plus. That is, the value of current I is 0. It will add 1 to it, so it will become 1. The next execution loop is not going to execute this guy again. It's just going to check if 1 is less than 6. And that is true, so it executes. Then after execution, it increases the value of I, the current value of I plus 1. So we have 1 before, it increases it to 2 by adding 1 to it. For the execution cycle, it comes here and check is 2 less than 6. The answer is true. It executes what you have here. And then until you get to, let's say, 5, when I is 5. Is 5 less than 6? Yes. So it executes. After execution, it adds 1 to it. So 5 plus 1 is 6. The next execution is 6 less than 6. The answer is false, so it stops the loop. Is that fine? Is that explanation okay? So we do console.log. What do we want to log? We want to log cars in position of I. Remember, I is what we are using to indicate the index of all these values here. So I equals to 0 at first. It prints out Toyota. It increases to 2, prints out Volvo. 3. Someone has a question? Oluwafemi.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Wale. Can you do us a favor? Can you leave the syntax and comment it for us so that we'll know the syntax? We can as well, manipulate it the way we want. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
You mean this one that I had there before?
Yeah, like for let I expression 1, expression 2, and comment it the way you put it before you now put the scripts. Just give all the syntax, comment the syntax, then you can now write the code.
This one.
Initial, can I? Is your screen freezing or what's that? Your mouse is not
No,
moving again from my side.
is it the same for everybody?
Can you move,
Screen is okay.
move your
No.
mouse?
I'm moving my mouse.
It's not. It's freezing here anyway. Maybe because maybe it's network. What I does mean is that just give all the syntax like for before you put for let I equals 0, then you now put like expression 1, expression 2, like that. So we know that is the syntax to write the loop script. Then you can now write the script out for us so that you can run it, so that in case we want to do our home, we'll follow the syntax that you put there.
Okay.
Thank you. Exactly, something like that.
I'm doing design. I'm designing code. Okay. I'm quickly going to just write this. Okay. So what I want to do is just console.log the cars in position of I. Okay. So what we did before that we had to like console.log 6 times. Now we just console.log once inside the for loop. And once we do that, it's going to give us the exact same result. As you can see, it still prints everything out for us. But the only thing that we did, just this, and everything comes out. Now, I know I've mentioned arrays before, but I did not mention to you the default method that comes with arrays that you can use to work with arrays. Methods are, I think I've explained it last time. So methods are things that you can call on something, an object will that will create some actions for you. So I've declared cars as an array. If I come down here and write cars and I put a dot, see all this, these are methods that comes with arrays. You can filter array, you can find something, you can find index, you can find last. But the one I want to use right now is length. If I do cars.length, it's going to give me the count of the objects that I have inside that array. In this case, the number will be 6. It will give me 6. It will return a number 6 for me. Let me also so that you see it. So the log. I can say the count of items in cars is, and I can concatenate close the brackets. So you can see the count of items in cars is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, the reason why I just did this now is that if you are working with dynamic values, like I explained, the example that I cited before, like when you are expecting something to be inside a drop down on the page, you don't know how many they are going to be prior to the time of testing or automating it. When you're automating it, you carry everything that you have inside that drop down, you put it inside an array. But the fact that you have already put inside an array, you can get how many they are by using that array.length. So, which means that we do not really have to write 6 here, right? We can write cars.length here, like this. And it will serve the same purpose because it will return 6, as you can see here. So there are two things that I'm showing you now. It may be confusing, but I don't want it to confuse. I don't want you confused. You have index and then there's length. Index always starts from 0 when it's counting. Length starts from 1. That's the reason why the highest index that you can have inside this class is 5, because it starts from 0. Length starts from 1. That's the reason why it's 6. I hope that is clear. Okay, cool. So I'm going to run this again just to show you that it works the same. Nothing has changed. See? One sec, please. All right, so this is loop for you. That's a for loop. There are other kind of loops. There is a what's it called? I'm not sure if JavaScript has a do while loop. A sec. Okay, it does have a do while loop. There is a while loop also. You can read up on this. I'll drop a link on this place on the chat where you can use to read it, to read through it, but it follows the same concept. You have a while, just like this, and then inside here you have a condition. In this case, maybe a single condition, right? It's like this expression 2. That's the only thing that you will have inside here. And at the end of that loop, when you get to the end, you will have to dictate what is going to increase or what is going to happen for the loop to stop. Let me quickly drop that link for you on the chat so that you look at it. All right, so if you want to read up on that, that is it. We can always use this for loop for almost everything that has to do with loop that we want to use. In JavaScript, there's also a for each loop. Okay, it's a callback. It uses the callback function to express its own. So you can have cars dot for each. Then you have this. You have this. There's anonymous function. All right, and then you can start doing something here. You can say, I give its name cars. Then I can do console.log. I'm just doing this here so that you will be able to see it whenever you watch this video back. This is how the for each loop looks like. If I run this again, you will have these guys coming on the console twice. This is from Toyota to what, Mercedes. This is the first one. That's the for loop, and this is the for each loop. Okay, so that's that. Any question? No questions. Chinonso.
Yeah, I have my hand raised. Okay. Yeah. Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much for the wonderful session. But okay, my question now is, you've shown us a lot of loops for each loops and the while loop and the other loops. So which one is best? Do we need to know everything? Do we need to apply everything? Which one is best when writing our codes?
There's none that is best. There's none that is no. It's just a matter of usage, right? So yeah, it's just a matter of usage. Like I said, if you look at this for the for loop, I have to create an index. Let I equals to this. But if you see the cars, I didn't say the index. This is wise enough to actually know how many objects, how many items that you have in your arrays and look through it. Of course, you can add index here. If I had index here, there's no problem. But in this case, in the case of where I said you are looking through and you are looking through something that at the point where you're starting to look, you really don't know the exact count for you to anticipate how many objects that you have inside that array. You can use a for loop. So it's a matter of usage. And there are use cases for while loop also. But what I found out is that for all of them, they are interchange. You can use them interchangeably. And there is even another form of for loop that does not take into account the number of um, the number of items that is inside the array. So it's better for you to know as much as you can and be able to adapt it to your use case.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Uh, where is that one? There's another one that I want to just write here for you so that when you read back, you'll be you'll be able to get it. I can't seem to remember it right now. Okay, so let me just move on. When I remember it, I'll write it down here for you. Okay, let's go back to Cypress. I decided to do this hand in hand so that as we are learning things here, we can be able to use it within Cypress. So last week we were
Sorry,
able to
Mr. Wale.
install. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Go on.
I'm trying raising my hand, but maybe you didn't
Oh,
notice.
sorry.
So I think if I want to get you right, what you are trying to say is that some of this code, like loop, for nest, and or do while, or those ones, it's not
Mhm.
necessarily that those code work like for everything. It depends on the aspect that we want to use them, that will call for which of the loop that we want to use for each of the script that we are writing, if I can get you right.
Okay. Let me answer this way. The general purpose for loop is the first one that we talked about. This guy here. He can do almost anything that you want. Right. But as engineers as we are, we always find we always try to find a fashionable way of doing things that we have already done before, and that's what gave birth to some other kind of loops. So the basic kind of loops that we have is this for loop and the while loop. Once you know, once you know both of them, you are fine. Okay. Once you know both of them, you are fine. You can adapt these two to anything that you want. You can adapt these two to anything that you want. So as you get stronger in this, you prefer some other kind of loops to the general this for loop. This has been in existence for a very long time. You'll find some other kind of loop useful and maybe you gravitate towards them. But once you know how this first one works, you can adapt it to all kind of loops that you are using. Know that there are three conditions: this, and this. While loop also has that. All right. For some loops like this one, this for each that I just wrote down here, it's able to auto guess or auto know some of these variables that we have for the ordinary for loop up here. So it's not about how complex your work is. It's about just knowing two of these things, for loop and while loop, and you can adapt it to any situation or any condition that you need to use it for. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Move on. No other questions, right?